preparing. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This will be a regular session of the mayor and council, city of Bisbee, county of Cochise, state of Arizona. It's being held on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, 7 p.m. in our council chambers. Roll call, please. Roll call. Roll call.
Councilmember Juanetta Hill. Councilmember Pete Skinner.
Here.
Councilmember Frank Davis.
Here.
Mayor Ken Budge.
Here.
Councilmember Leslie Johns.
Here.
Councilmember Mel Sweet.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anna Klein.
Here.
City staff, Stephen Pockett, City Manager, Ashley Coronado, City Clerk, Carrie Bagley, Finance Director, Matthew Gurney, Public Works Director, Tim Cox, Police Chief, Jay Ritchie, Deputy Police Chief, Joe Estes, City Attorney.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for those who are tuning in or in our audience. For a moment of silence tonight, we'll have a minute of personal reflection, and then we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I can get everybody to stand.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I don't have any proclamations or announcements tonight. So we'll just move right on into general business, which will be the first call to public, which we don't have anybody signed up for. So that means we get to move right into general business. So the first order is number 1, which is accounts payable.
I move that we pay accounts payable in the amount of $471,757.46. Second.
Got a motion second. Would everyone have any questions before let's on?
I have one.
Okay,
No, it's fine.
go ahead.
Page 6. Drinking fountain with bottle 1,777. Grinder. I just want to know what's the drinking fountain with bottle?
Yeah, that is to replace the drinking fountain that is in the library. That one that was, there went out and we replaced it.
Oh, okay. No, that's all.
Anything else? Anything on this side? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second to approve accounts payable amount of $471,757.46. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. So moved, the ayes have it. We move on to the consent agenda. Tonight on our consent agenda, we have items A through C. It's approval of the minutes from October 15th, and the minutes from October 24th. And last one is the removal of Mr. Brown from the Planning and Zoning Commission due to lack of attendance. If anybody has anything to pull? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve consent agenda as agenda size.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular session of mayor and council held on October 15th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
And
No, just the consent agenda. That's just one item on the consent agenda.
you have to approve the actual whole page through.
As presented.
Second.
There we go. Okay, we have a motion to approve consent agenda as presented, items A through C. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. All right, we have no old business, so we'll move right into new business. The first order of business will be item 3. This is a public hearing and discussion on possible approval of a liquor license application for Bisbee Badassery located, I have a pen mark on over there. At 105 Tombstone Canyon, Bisbee, Arizona. First, I guess I'll hold a public hearing. So I'll open this public hearing on the approval of the liquor license. Anybody here that would care to speak in favor?
Well,
run from them, is that appropriate?
You would like
Or
to?
somebody else is supposed to do that, I don't know.
No, then we get to go to all the negatives, so if you want to say a positive. come on.
Well, I would just hope that we would obtain the approval so that we can more readily make our business successful in Bisbee. And try to make our business more well-rounded and have all the opportunities that people are looking for when they come here.
And you are,
I'm Janet Hill.
Yes, I'm sorry. You should state who you are. Okay. Well, thank you. Do we have anybody here to speak against this possible approval? Do we have anything written, city clerk?
No, sir.
All right. We'll close the public hearing. Open us up for discussion among council. Do we have any discussions? And I'll entertain a motion for item 3.
I move to approve the liquor license application for Bisbee Badassery located at 105 Tombstone Canyon,
Second,
Arizona.
they have good food, that's why.
We're moving right along. Not that he drinks a lot.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second
Great food.
to approve the liquor license application for the Bisbee Eatery. And I don't want to mess that up again. Well, you have this pen mark. Anyway, 105 things okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Hey, let's.
Yeah.
Do that. All right, thank you for that. Moving on to item 4, this is a public hearing discussion of possible approval of the notice of intent to adopt ordinance O-24-20. This is amending the zoning code, Article 3, procedures, Section 3.5, architectural design review of the historic preservation overlay district, subsection 3.5.5, demolition and removal of historic buildings, adding a new subsection 3.5.5B, penalty for demolition without a permit in the historic district. This is providing for conflict ordinances and penalties. There he is.
good evening.
Jack,
Mayor
read all
Council.
this and look at it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
we're asking to set some penalties for demolition without a permit in the historic district. We had a lot of instances where, well, not a lot, we had a few that they knocked down a couple buildings that they didn't have permission, no permits, no nothing. And all they got was a slap on the wrist. Now we want to get some penalties out there, so this will actually, we don't want to give penalties, this is just something to stop them in the future that they know they will have a fine if they do it without permission.
Okay. I did have one question on 2, but I think I got it. My number 2 under D. What all the approvals they must have so they don't get fined. So everything has to be submitted. You have to approve their plan that's in place and then they wait for their okay from the DRB.
Correct.
So, but they'll submit a permit, even though they won't pay for a permit till they get their DRB approval if they get it, right?
Correct. If they get everything submitted and they get all their ducks in a row, they won't be fined, penalized, but if they don't, they'll be penalized daily
Right.
on these
Okay.
instances.
Yeah, go ahead.
If they demolish something prior to and it hasn't been approved, you review it, are they required to put it back together the way it was?
It could come to that, or they'll get substantial fines, you know. For now, we're just hoping it doesn't happen, that we have something to sink our teeth into now.
Under the proposed changes, they can be required to reconstruct and restore what's been demolished. It just depends on circumstances. Every circumstance is going to be different as to whether or not it can be restored or rebuilt.
So we've had rules against them doing that in the past, correct? Just no stiff penalty to go along with it.
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing you could really do. It's just double the fine of the permit at the time. But now it's gonna be that and a daily occurrence of fines on top of that.
We know it wasn't any teeth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it gonna go under our fee permit or fine permit schedule, the amounts?
Correct.
Yeah. More questions?
I just want to comment, because I was involved as a liaison in planning, and we went into this. This was not meant to penalize people, it's just to make sure that we're doing those things right and just so we will not have things off. So what's a good reason why we did this?
Correct.
Public need to know, we just didn't do it just to create fines or to make fines.
Yeah,
It was meant to this.
yeah, we never want to get
Yeah.
the penalty, but it's there if it happens.
Yeah, and there was a lot of thought that went into this. Planning before we did this. Okay.
Anything else? Okay, I've had the public hearing, I'll take a motion.
I move to approve the notice of intent to adopt ordinance O-24 20, amending the zoning code article 3, procedures, section 3.5, architectural design review for historic preservation overlay district, subsection 3.5.5, demolition and movement of historic buildings, adding a new subsection 3.5.5D, penalty for demolition without permit in the historic district, providing for the repeal of conflicting ordinances and providing for severability and providing for penalties.
I'll second that.
We have a motion, a second. For ordinance O-24 20.
Councilmember Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Skinner,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Swede,
I,
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye, motion passes 7-0. So moved. All right, moving on, this is item 5, this is a public hearing. Again, and discussion on possible approval of notice of intent to adopt ordinance O-24 21. This is amending the zoning code, article 3, procedures, section 3.5, architectural design review of historic preservation overlay district, subsection 3.5.2, review requirements and procedures relating to the review requirements, extensions and fees, and providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances and so on. So, I'll open the public hearing. Is anyone here that would like to speak in favor of ordinance O-24 21? See none. Is anybody here to speak against ordinance O-24 21 as proposed? Seeing none, any written or calls?
No, sir.
Haven't received any. I will close the public hearing, open it up for discussion among council. But you have things to talk about. Actually, you should actually tell us what's going on.
Okay.
I'm running, on coffee tonight, I guess.
No, we would like to change the time frame for the approved design board, PRB applications from 1 year to 6 months. To be consistent with our building permits. New construction applications, they'll remain at 1 year. This will encourage applicants to complete the building permits in a timely manner and not stay stagnant. Currently, we do not charge a fee for extensions, amendments, changes. The fee adjustment is crucial to ensure that fees collected are fair, reasonable, and reflective of the costs incurred in processing applications. The design review board amendment and changes are gonna be $25 per amendment or change. And any extensions will be $25 for 3 months.
So I have the one question is, they have to be completed in 6 months, or they have to be
Started within
and
that.
working?
Yeah,
Some progress being made, that's what has been, by a year.
yes, correct. It was a year at the time and everything was just staying too stagnant, not doing nothing till the year is over. Wanted to be consistent with our building permits, which are 6 months due. And we just could keep eyeing it better that way.
And this is just from here going forward, the ones that are in process still have their year
Correct.
grandfather. More questions? Go ahead.
So we don't charge a fee for an extension. Is there a limit to how many extensions people can take out?
As long as they keep, keep with us and keep paying that $25 for 3 months, so we could keep extending
Okay,
that. Just, we weren't getting no fees at all for any extensions at all. We were putting a lot of time and effort in there, and there was nothing there, so.
New DRB now is going to $300, what? To apply, $150,
I think it's going up to 125, I believe. I could be wrong.
it's more.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah, there was a new update on that.
Mhm. It's on the city website.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion then for ordinance 2421.
I move to approve the notice of intent to adopt ordinance O-24-21, amending the zoning code, Article 3, Procedures Section 3.5, Architectural Design Review for the Historic District Preservation Overlay District, subsection 3.5.2. Review requirements and procedures relating to review requirements, extension, and fees, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances and providing for severability.
second,
We have a motion and a second to approve the notice of intent to adopt ordinance O-2421. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hill,
aye.
Councilmember Skinner,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Johns,
Aye.
Councilmember Sweet,
Hi,
Mayor Pro Tem Klein,
Aye.
Mayor Budge.
Aye. Motion passes 7-0.
thank you, Mayor Johnson.
Thank you. Moving along, this is item 6, a discussion of possible approval of phase 2 funding from SHPO to complete the Disney Warren Historic District Survey and submit the application to the Federal Keeper Office in the amount of $20,000 federal funds and $14,800 from participating match. Alyssa.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's with great pleasure that I come to tell you that in October, we received the phase 2 funding of the SHPO pass-through funding for it's the second half of the Warren, the City Beautiful Historic District application. So as you know, the first half has been completed with the original grant, and the second half is really the preparation to go to SHPO for the acceptance. And then it'll go on up to the keeper for a decision. We are gonna be using the same consultant that we used before. Because she has all the information and has agreed to do any amendments or corrections needed on the way to the keeper. So we talked to her. SHPO actually, applied, encouraged us to apply for this grant and to go for the process for the nomination. We received our approval and it's 20,000, but what we did was we had a participating match of over 24,000, which gave us the full amount of the 20,000. So, because we had lots of volunteers, did lots of work on the first half. As I said, we'll have the same consultant likely next, council meeting. I'll be bringing an amendment to her current contract that will include this 20,000. With that, I'm ready to open it. If you have any questions, we expect the application to be done and it will be into SHPO for the March 2025 meeting where they intend to be there with the consultant, and at that point, they go through it, make sure it's ready to go to DC.
Good this time. Real.
I can smell it.
Go ahead. Questions?
On the timeline, you have January 2026, and it says the number 6, all work must be completed by September 30, 2025.
Correct, but we found out that they will be meeting in March, and we have had a Zoom call, and given the last details, we feel that they needed to finish up the application so that we can go before the March meeting. So yes, that is a change. My apologies. I forgot that was in there.
Okay, so the 2025 is.
It will, For final approval, it will take that long. Our understanding is that this is the second to the last hoop we're jumping through. But once SHPO does their thing, but at this meeting, I've never been to one, so I'm gonna go. And they kind of go through the application, tell us if we need to change anything, and then it's actually the SHPO office that sends this application for approval to DC. So those dates are out there because it could take that long for Washington DC to approve. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
More questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion for item 6.
I move that we accept the phase 2 funding from SHPO to complete the Bisbee Warren Historic District Survey and submit the application to the Federal Keeper Office in the amount of $20,000 federal funds and $14,800 in participating match for a total of $34,800.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to approve phase 2 funding from SHPO in the amount of $20,000 for the Bisbee Warren Historic District Survey. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, so moved. Thank you, Melissa. And item 7. This is discussion thoughts approval of contract amendment 1 with Durazo Construction for emergency chimney stabilization work in the amount of $25,504. Mr. Norman?
So this is an amendment to the pre-construction services contract that was earlier this year. One of the things in there, in that contract was to look at the condition of the buildings and things on the site and determine if anything needed to be stabilized or addressed prior to working on the restoration of the buildings. The one thing that is of most concern are the chimneys. Several of them are in really bad shape, a lot of cracks in them, mortar is deteriorated, so they're, and also the 2 chimneys, the 2 buildings that had collapsed previously have been a concern for a while that there's nothing really supporting them, so they could collapse. So we just need to address the chimney issue before we can start site work to eliminate that hazard on the ground. And so that's what this contract is for Durazo to have a crew disassemble the chimneys. We're gonna save the bricks. They'll clean any mortar off them, put them on pallets, save them for when we restore the buildings. They'll rebuild those chimneys. And the architect and structural engineer will design a mitigation to make sure that the chimneys are more stable and
Yeah, this might put them back together.
Yeah.
Prices go up.
We got
Questions?
I have a question here on the proposal. I mean, you know, on the breakdown, general condition, lodging. The only question I have, that person whoever made this proposal has put a profit. Is that he's telling you, is this the profit he's gonna make, or what does that mean? I've never seen anything like this.
I believe in a lot of contracts, they want to break out their profit.
Oh, so this is how much he's gonna profit, this is
Yes.
his profit, he's telling us how much he's gonna make?
That's
That's
right.
it?
Yes.
Oh,
And this is the not to exceed,
I've never seen it.
not to exceed amount.
Okay, that's fair.
very much.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a line where somebody puts his profit in, that's all, so that's why.
Usually it's called
20%.
overhead.
Yeah, the word profit, I mean, that's,
Yeah, well, they do have the overhead in there, so that's
and
what.
if he's only making that much profit, that's not much, so I just, yeah. Unless he put it in the other line, so I can.
Yeah, but that's this is the proposal that the constructors firm. Yes.
Just ask him when you have a chance, what does that
Okay.
mean, please, okay, thank you.
Any other question? Then I'll take a motion on the last one, number 7.
I move to approve contract amendment number 1 with Durazo Construction for emergency chimney stabilization work in the amount of $25,504.
Second,
We have a motion and a second to approve the amendment number 1 for emergency chimney stabilization out of the Naco, Camp Naco. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. So moved.
Thank you.
Get them stabilized. All right, item 8, city manager's report.
Well, I'd just like to recommend that Mr. Davis move for adjournment. Opposed?
I second.
We have a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Larger. Thank you.